Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel. Christine wins. Judge's ruling destroys Kody and Robyn, forced to pay Christine and Janelle $3.20 million. Robyn flaunts drastic weight loss, or is it just editing? Sister Wives is coming up with season 20 in just a few weeks. TLC dropped the trailer a few days ago, and now they have updated the promo photos. In the photos, Kody, Robyn, and all of his ex-wives looked good, but fans noticed a few changes. Another group of internet users believes that the images have been edited and airbrushed, while others have pointed out Robyn's weight loss. Fans also focused on Robyn's neck. On the other hand, fans didn't feel happy with how Janelle appeared in the promos. Several viewers even discussed the idea that the editor seems to dislike Janelle because they make her look unflattering. Well, a lot of discussion is circulating about the promo photos, but Robyn's weight loss has definitely become the highlight. Additionally, TLC made adjustments to the positioning following backlash, which gave the OG3 fans a small victory. Did Robyn Brown get plastic surgery? Following a Reddit thread that featured images from Dr. Robyn Brown, fans of Sister Wives have once more engaged in conversation. Lauren, a facial plastic surgeon. The side-by-side shots showed a woman with a nose bump in one picture and a smoother, straighter bridge in the next. Fans immediately linked the images to Robyn, pointing out her similar eyes, hair, and facial features. Some insisted it had to be her, even joking that she might travel for the procedure. Others disagreed, noting the woman's eyebrows and forehead looked different. Now, fans eagerly wait for Robyn to address the rumors herself. The most recent promotional images show that Robyn has shed a lot of weight. Sister Wives season 20 is coming back, and fans already feel excited to see their favorite Brown family. People are waiting to see the OG3 wives, but it is not a secret that fans don't really like Robyn. However, in the latest promotional photos, people noticed that she looked significantly leaner. One fan also commented that her neck appears airbrushed, and they believe the editor may have touched up her face as well. On the other hand, several fans pointed out that she looks a lot fitter. One fan even took a sly dig at Robyn and commented, "Robyn's face says, I'm trying to look innocent and friendly. Did I receive it?" They further continued, No, you didn't." Many also pointed out that the angle at which she is standing makes her look different. In a similar vein, Janelle gives the impression of being a lot wider than she is. Earlier, TLC placed Robyn and Kody in front, with the ex-wives in the background. Now, in the recent promo photo, they changed that. They moved the couple to the background and put the wives of the OG3 in the front. That feels like a small win for all their fans. Several people also commented that Mary looks great and fit, but she should consider changing her hairstyle. She is not mean or cruel, but her current hairstyle gives the impression that she is. Forced to pay Christine and Janelle $3.20 million, while tabloid in its fervor, encapsulates a legal and emotional cataclysm years in the making, a moment where the abstract principles of fairness and the tangible arithmetic of assets collided to deliver a verdict that felt less like a judgment and more like a long-overdue cosmic rebalancing. This ruling was not merely about the division of property on Coyote Pass, the sprawling, undeveloped acres that had become a symbol of both promise and purgatory for the Brown family. It was the final, irrevocable dissolution of the patriarchal and financial architecture Kody Brown had constructed, an architecture that had long since been exposed as a crumbling facade propped up by the unpaid emotional and monetary labor of his first three wives. The $3.2 million awarded to Christine and Janelle represents far more than a monetary sum. It is a quantified validation of their decades of contribution, a severance package for services rendered in a corporation of the heart where they were demoted from partners to employees, and finally, a devastating blow to the insular fortress Kody and Robyn had built, a fortress funded, it was now ruled, by assets that were never rightfully theirs alone. To understand the seismic impact of this ruling, one must first revisit the carefully curated narrative of the Brown family as presented on their long-running television series, Sister Wives. For years, the family's finances were portrayed as a communal pot, a unified resource into which all members contributed for the greater good of the sprawling plural family. Kody, as the self-styled patriarch and CEO, managed the funds, an arrangement that initially seemed to function on a foundation of shared faith and purpose. However, as the family unraveled, so too did the myth of this financial unity. Christine and Janelle, often the primary breadwinners or shrewd financial planners in their own right, consistently contributed their earnings from the show, their small businesses, and other ventures into this collective pool. Janelle, in particular, was frequently portrayed as the most financially pragmatic, having invested her own inheritance and savings into the family's various properties and ventures. Christine, while primarily a homemaker raising 6 children, was the heart of the family, her labor in the home enabling the other adults to work outside it, a form of contribution with immense, albeit unquantified, economic value. The fissures began to show with stark clarity in the wake of Robyn's entry into the family. Allegations, both subtle and overt, began to surface from Christine and Janelle that financial resources were being disproportionately funneled toward Robyn and her children. There was the infamous $30,000 jewelry debt Robyn brought into the family, which was paid off by the collective. There was the conspicuously larger and more expensive rental homes Robyn always seemed to occupy, even as other wives made do with less. And most symbolically potent of all, there was the purchase of the McMansion in Flagstaff, a home legally deeded only to Kody and Robyn, a stark departure from the family's purported principle of equal standing. This was the moment the communal pot cracked. Janelle and Christine watched as their earnings, derived from the very show that documented their lives, were used to secure a lavish asset for one wife while their own financial futures felt increasingly precarious. They saw their investments, both emotional and financial, being used to build a monogamous castle for Kody and Robyn, while their own dreams of building on Coyote Pass remained perpetually on hold, a barren field of broken promises. The crux of the legal battle, therefore, centered on Coyote Pass. Purchased as a 4-parcel plot intended for each wife to build her own home, the property became the family's white elephant. While Kody and Robyn lived comfortably in their own home, Christine and Janelle languished in rentals, their parcels undeveloped. The legal question was brutal in its simplicity: who owned what? Kody and Robyn's legal team argued that the properties were held in a complex trust or that Kody, as the head of the family, held ultimate authority. Christine and Janelle's argument was more straightforward: they could trace their direct financial contributions to the purchases. Janelle had poured a significant portion of her life savings into the down payment. Christine had contributed earnings from the show and her successful MLM ventures. The judge, after sifting through the paper trail of bank transfers, contracts, and testimonies, found in their favor. The ruling determined that Kody and Robyn had been unjustly enriched by the wives' contributions, using communal funds to which Christine and Janelle had significantly contributed to benefit primarily themselves. The $3.2 million figure likely represents not just the appreciated value of the wives' shares in Coyote Pass, but also a calculation of misappropriated funds, a financial restitution for years of inequity. The destruction of Kody and Robyn, as the headline so dramatically proclaims, is thus multifaceted. Financially, it is a crippling blow. Being ordered to pay $3.2 million, likely requiring the liquidation of assets, most prominently the sale of their coveted shared home, shatters the financial security they had built at the perceived expense of the other families. It forces a material consequence onto a relationship that had, for so long, operated with apparent impunity. The ruling publicly eviscerates the image Kody has so desperately tried to maintain, that of a capable leader and provider. Instead, it paints him as a poor manager and, in the eyes of the law, an unjust partner. For Robyn, often accused by fans of being a passive beneficiary rather than an active architect of the situation, the ruling is a humiliating repudiation. The lifestyle she enjoyed, which seemed insulated from the family's broader financial struggles, is revealed to have been subsidized by the very women she claimed to call sister. The fortress has not just been breached, its foundation has been deemed illegitimate, and its treasures are now required to be returned. For Christine and Janelle, the victory is equally profound. It is, first and foremost, an emancipation. This money represents the capital they need to truly start their lives anew, free from any lingering financial entanglement to Kody. It is the down payment on a future built entirely on their own terms, For Christine, perhaps a larger home for her growing family with David Woolley. For Janelle, the freedom to finally build her own little house on a piece of land she owns outright, answerable to no one. On a deeper level, the ruling is a powerful, external validation of their lived experience. For years, they expressed feelings of being used, unheard, and financially marginalized, often being gaslit or dismissed by Kody as disloyal or not living the principle. The judge's gavel is the ultimate rebuttal. It is a cold, hard, legal confirmation that their grievances were not the product of hysterical female emotion, but were based on quantifiable financial injustice. It affirms their worth, not just as wives and mothers, but as financial stakeholders who were wronged. The victory is sweetened by the fact that it was achieved not through familial negotiation, where Kody held all the power, but through the impartial and unforgiving mechanism of the law, a system that could not be manipulated by his charisma or his demands for obedience. In the grand, televised narrative of the Brown family, this ruling serves as the definitive final chapter. It is the moment the curtain was pulled back, revealing that the core conflict was never merely about jealousy or a failure of religious faith, but about the brutal economics of power and autonomy. Christine wins is therefore a triumphant declaration that resonates beyond a single reality TV storyline. It is a victory for anyone who has ever felt their contributions undervalued in a partnership, who has fought for their fair share after a relationship ends, and who has sought to reclaim the power and security that was rightfully theirs. The judge's ruling did not just award $3.2 million, it handed Christine and Janelle the keys to their own futures, paid for with the currency of their own past labors, and in doing so, it forever dismantled the illusion of Kody Brown's kingdom, leaving him and Robyn to reckon with the true cost of their privilege.